Welcome. In this video, we will discuss about the latest news coming from the Nagaland, where the Nagaland has plea against the Lokayukta. So, what is the whole scenario? What Lokayukta are? What Lokpals are? In this video, we will discuss that in detail. So, let's first try to understand the context because of which this particular topic was in news. So, the Supreme Court issued a notice on plea filed by state of Nagaland for a direction to its Lokayukta to cease exercising his power and function and transfer all his work to Lokayukta. So basically there has been a kind of scuffle between the individual who has been appointed as the Lokayukta in case of Nagaland, and what Nagaland has gone ahead as a state has filed a case against the Lokayukta in Supreme Court and asked them to remove him from his position and deny all the powers that he has and transfer the function to the Lokayukta, which is like the vice Lokayukta you could call. So this is the context. Now the petition by Nagaland asked the court to make use of its extraordinary power under Article 142. So what the Article 142 of Supreme Court says that it has power to ask for certain kind of laws or certain kind of rules which could be implemented directly. So these are few things which is decided by the Supreme Court. It has been conferred by the power under Constitution and Article 142, where they can go ahead and suggest. So just for an example, their whole idea of asking people to stand up during national anthem, the kind of rule and execution it came from, it took the power from the Article 142. So that's the example. This is the power which Nagaland is asking them to invoke, and under this power it is asking that Supreme Court should remove the Lokayukta. So the constitution to preserve institutional integrity of the Lokayukta and ensure that a fit, proper and competent people occupies the office of Lokayukta. So this is all the petition which has been filed in the Supreme Court from the side of Nagaland government. So these are the basic things. From your UPSC point of view, just context is enough. Just know the Supreme Court has powers under the Article 142, what kind of powers they are, and also just know whether Supreme Court has the original jurisdiction in case of the center and the public authorities, the state authorities, and all these things you have to consider. So go back to your Lakshmikant, revise the chapter on Supreme Court and see what all powers does it has with regard to the dispute between center and states, and also between center states and public authorities and such factor. So these are the things that you have to know. Now let's go ahead and try to understand more about the Lokayukta. So Lokayukta, also called as the Civil Commissioner, is an anti-corruption ombudsman organization in the Indian state. So basically this is the kind of a post which is related to anti-corruption movement. So if you have been around, you would have known that there was a massive Jan Andolan in 2011 led by Anna Hazare. So that was the major tipping point which kind of compelled the government to come up with an idea of Lokayukta and Lokpal, and hence the act was passed. So that Jan Andolan, which was led by the Anna Hazare in 2011, was the one which at present time laid the background or the framework for the Lokayuktas and Lokpal. Now once appointed, Lokayukta cannot be dismissed or transferred by the government. Now you have to understand that because it's a anti-corruption ombudsman, it is very important that the integrity of the office or post is maintained. So in order to remove any kind of political interference or any kind of favor habit, it has been ensured that the Lokayukta cannot be dismissed nor transferred by the government and can only be removed by passing an impeachment motion by the state assembly. So this is again which means that removing them for their post will be very difficult, because the state assembly has to pass the impeachment motion and they cannot just directly transfer him from one place to other. So this is one of the very important safeguard which has been put into place in order to safeguard the post of Lokayukta. Now Lokayukta, along with Income Tax Department and Anti-Corruption Bureau, mainly help people publicize corruption among the politician and government officials. So this is the major role that Lokayukta are going to play, along with the Income Tax Department and the Anti-Corruption Bureau. They are they will tell if there is a corruption going on, if there is kind of a scandal, they will push it forward for the public to scrutinize. Many acts of Lokayukt have resulted in criminal or other consequences for those charged. So this is one of the success story of Lokayukt, or you can say why they are very significant in the polity of India, is because the things that they have pointed out has led to the final conviction. So this is again become very important. Now Maharashtra was the first state which introduced the institution of Lokayukt. Now this you could remember for your even writing for your mains answer, or just in case it comes as a statement in your prelims examination. So Maharashtra was the first state which has the institution for Lokayukt. But their Lokayukt was very weak in terms of staff, in terms of power, in terms of its scope of jurisdiction, it was very weak. On the other hand, Karnataka Lokayukt is considered the most powerful Lokayukt in the country. So the kind of power, staff, infrastructure that is being provided to the Lokayukt in Karnataka is considered as the most powerful in India. So these are the few basic things that you have to know about Lokayukt. Now when we are talking about Lokayukt, let's also discuss about the Lokpals. So basically Lokpal is like the counterpart of Lokayukt, or let's say that the Lokayukt are the counterparts of Lokpals in state. So basically Lokpal is at center what Lokayukt are at state. So this is how it goes. So again Lokpal is an anti-corruption authority or body of ombudsmen who represent the public interest in the Republic of India. So their main focus is to represent the interest of public. So when they are exposing the corruption charges against politician or government official, their main goal should be the public interest. That's how the thing should be laid out. Lokpal has jurisdiction over central government to inquire into allegation of corruption against the public function and for matter connected to corruption. So any corruption charges related to the central government will be inquired by Lokpal. If it is related to the state officials or state government, it will be inquired by the Lokayukt. So the Lokpal and Lokayukt Act was passed in 2013 with the amendments in Parliament following the Jan Lokpal movement led by Anna Hazare in 2011. As mentioned earlier, that was the Jan Andolan, Jan Lokpal movement which kind of laid down the ground for the act of Lokpal and Lokayukt which came in 2013. Now Lokpal is responsible for inquiring corruption charges at the national level, while Lokayukt perform the same function at the state level. So this is just how it goes. Your Lokpal is basically at center, and your Lokayukt are at state. There is also a specification regarding to the minimum age criteria which has been put up in the Act. So the minimum age of Lokpal's chairman or the member on the date of assuming office as the chairperson or the member should not be less than 45 years. So that's the minimum age criteria that has been put in place, that the person, if they want to become a Lokayukt or Lokpal, whether even a chairman or member, they would at least have to be 45 years of age. So 45 years and above are the one who are eligible to be a member or chairperson for Lokpals. Now Lokpal bill provide for filing of complaints of corruption against Prime Minister, other minister and MP. So this was one of the major contention point when this bill was debated in the Parliament, that can Prime Minister could also be considered as a authority which could come under the ambit of Lokpals. And because of the movement, because of the kind of informed decision, and in order to provide democracy, the more transparency and accountability, it was decided that even the office of Prime Minister would come under the ambit of Lokpals. So these are the few things that you have to know. Also, just a little bit of history, that even the first Administrative Reform Commission, so the first ARC report, also talked about setting up of Lokayuk. So their reasoning behind it, it is not only for removing the sense of injustice from the mind of citizen, but also to instill public confidence in the efficiency of administrative machinery. So when the public have faith in the machinery, that okay, if there is somebody who is corrupt or who is practicing non-ethical ways, there will be some sort of punishment, then public interest would be more in such organization, such institution. So first ARC also talked about it. Now from your UPSC point of view, a little bit unrelated to the topic, but yeah, from your UPSC point of view, look at the second ARC. Again, a very important book for you to know about, or you need to like pick up the facts for writing mains answer. And when I say second ARC, you don't have to like line by line read everything. It's along the line that you pick up the main data and try to quote it in your answer. Like just when you're writing your mains answer, try writing according to the second ARC report. This thing has been mentioned, so it gives more credibility to your answer. So I hope that's how it is. In your Lakshmikant, go back, check all the functions of Lokpal and Lokayukt, and see how what are the provisions which are enacted under the 2013 Act. So this is your homework. Go back and understand. Basic thing I have already covered, what this organization of anti-corruption is all about, who are eligible to be a part of it, and what kind of offices are under its ambit. So we have covered the basic, but go ahead and still revise from your Lakshmikant. So I hope you have understood this video. If you have any doubt, feel free to comment. Thank you.